Raluca.
Raluca.
Yes.
J'ai beaucoup les souvenirs à Berlin quand je vois les meubles, le théâtre, c'est un peu...
Bună ziua, ne-am reîntors la interviurile Teatrul Azi la Festivalul Shakespeare de la Craiova. Am alături de mine primele invitate internaționale. Hello, nice to have you here.
Hi.
I will be shortly switching to Romanian to introduce you, and afterwards we'll get started. Este vorba despre coregrafa și coregizoarea și cofondatoarea companiei Mossoux Bonté, Nicole Mossoux, care ne va prezenta astăzi de la ora 18 la Teatrul Colibri spectacolul Ofelias, și de Laura Cadio, care este coordonatoarea de comunicare a companiei. Revista Teatrul Azi a făcut posibile aceste interviuri și este editată de Uniter prin Fundația Culturală Camil Petrescu. So to get started, and not to keep you waiting too long, I read about your show and heard that there are multiple Ophelias in it. I'm wondering why is that?
Why?
Yes.
At the beginning, everybody here in Craiova in those days know the character of Ophelia in Hamlet and all the story. But we enter in this thematic with the paintings. After Shakespeare, there were many pre-Raphaelite painters, mostly in England, who take this character to make so beautiful painting of a dead woman. You know, the drawing of Ophelia was the center of the attention, and those men, those painters, mostly men, were fascinated by the beauty but of a dead body. So for us, it is strange, no? To consider that a dead woman is a beautiful tableau that we can admire that. So we are like an exploration around this question. Why do the men use this image of woman? And it's also a consequence in our lives of today. Today, the feminism is asking question about our image of woman. What is a woman today? And we are only la conséquence.
The consequences.
Les héritières de.
The heritage. Where is it coming from, and where are we now? Yeah.
So on stage you have 4 women, 4 dancers, who can swim very good, because you have a real character on stage, but also a large video screen where you see the aquatic version of Ophelia's. So it's a dream about beauty, but also about death, how death and beauty can mix together. And there are, ce sont des inspecteurs, elles font elles inspectent, elles font une enquête. Sorry for my English.
No.
I need Laura.
Mais toute la phrase.
Une enquête.
Oui.
Elles font une enquête sur la mort d'Ophélie.
They do like a trial. They are in front of a trial. They see the dead Ophelia and they look at the. Oui.
Yeah, because in the Shakespeare theater, it's not clear why she died. Was it an accident? Is it a suicide? We don't know. At the end of the piece, it's not clear. Because les gens qui enterrent ne savent pas s'ils vont l'enterrer en terre sainte ou pas.
And the people who did the funeral, who are when the Ophelia was dead, they don't know. Is she like a holy, or is she maybe someone who was chased from the society? Because you don't know if it was a suicide or what happened to her. Why did she die? And so this what we see is also like that we reflect what happened to Ophelia, because this is what happened when you are in the public and you see the performance, because you start to think about what happened to her, why is she dead, and what is she now? Is she like this, like Nicole said, like is she like a saint? Or is she someone the society doesn't want to speak about anymore because it was a suicide, or what happened with her body before?
I'm wondering, in this storyline, how was it to explore it with 4 different performers?
Yeah.
How are they different?
So they are different, basically different for women. For us in our work, we don't work only with the technical capacities of the dancer, but also with their psychologie, de leur état d'être au plateau.
How they are also working with the psychology of every one of them, but also of like how they are on stage. What their kind of body, the kind of movement that they're being on stage.
For example, you have Lizzie Siddal. Who was Lizzie Siddal? Was the model for John Everett Millais, who painted Ophelia, and she died also because she gets. Elle a refroidi en posant dans son bain.
She died because she was getting too cold in the tube in the bathroom.
So the identification between the model of the painter and the character of Shakespeare, you can mix two. And she's in the performance. She's singing part of the text of Ophelia, Shakespeare Ophelia. She's singing that. It's only words we use in this. You have also a very strange, mythic woman. Was in French, c'était l'inconnue de la scène, the unknown woman.
The unknown woman de la Seine, c'est de la Seine de la fleuve. The unknown woman from la Seine, the river in Paris.
So in English, I tell in French. So c'est au début du XXe siècle. Ils ont repêché une très belle noyée.
Noyée, c'est
drowned woman.
In the beginning of the 20th century, they fished. They found a woman in la Seine, in the Seine, who was thrown in the water.
And the sculptor did his portraits.
And where?
And it is the model, c'est le modèle of all those mannequins you use to make move. So it's the more embraced woman in the world. It is a figure in the performance too, and the other. We know the reference is, I like a lot Christian Petzold, who is a German director, film director, and it's the story of a woman who was drowned because his boyfriend, okay, but she was not die. She lived a new life after his. After his death, but we don't know if she's dead or not. And also you have a part of the performance where there are 4 pensionnaires, des petites pensionnaires.
Retired.
Pensionnaires, une petite pension.
Oui, mais fini la phrase
Oui, dont une se fait abuser. Et devient la méduse, personnage.
Like women are retired, like like there are 4 women who are retired and have a little bit of money. Well, and you see them also in the performance, and they start to be. Excuse me, c'était quoi la phrase la fin des phrases? Ils ont des.
Elle s'est transformée en médusa.
Ah oui, and they will transform in the performance, and they will see them like medusas in the piece. So they change also their physics. Yeah.
But what we want to say, I think, it's also the complicity of those 4 women of different period countries, but together. Perhaps they can find some strongness, some powerful, because they are 4 and not alone.
I'm very curious about your perspective as a choreographer and dancer. how do Shakespeare's words translate into movement? How was working with Shakespeare like this?
It's not a translation, it's an inspiration. Shakespeare is a question for us. We are not completely not specialists, but all those questions who stay open in this terrific story of Hamlet. Everybody died, but we don't le fil d'Ophélie à travers tous les personnages.
The story from Ophelia, what happened to her, it touches every person, what Nicole talked about. So it's like a line, like a red line who goes to all the situations and persons Nicole talked about. So it's a beginning maybe, or a start, or an inspiration.
Yeah, she depends of all those men around her, but she's strong at the same time because she knows the thing. The end for her is terrific, but she was like a light circulate.
Well, it's like a light who's passing by a lot of places and giving, you know, it's a reflection on everything. But it's yeah.
But we cannot describe what Shakespeare says so well because we don't use words. So what we are doing is to be influenced, imprégné.
We are influenced, yes.
We influenced by the ambience of Shakespeare, and just what is important for us is to speak today. What is today, and in this piece, the point of view of a woman.
It marks the work from Ophelia. So Shakespeare, you have a touch of Shakespeare in it, but in their translation in a way.
You have a long-term collaboration with your fellow co-founder of the company. Over 40 years, I've read, of work together. So I'm wondering, how do you work together? What is your process like?
I think it's possible to work for so long time because there is not a chief, there's not a director for all the people under. For each piece, we alternate the project. Sometimes it's Patrick, sometimes it's me, and after Patrick, after me. And so we are in a sort of equality relation.
It's a dance.
We are also different. We are men and women. It's important, I think. And we are also very different in our origins, our formation. Patrick comes from theater, text theater, so he is in more intellectual way to expose the project, to prepare the project. And I come from dance, so I have a more physically, I am more in the sensibility point of view on the thematics we chose. Here, in Ophelia's, it's clear, it's me. It's a woman who speaks, with 4 women on stage. And now Patrick is preparing with me, with the whole group, variation sur les passions humaines. So the question of difficulties to be together, and how the people can be cruel, the other with the others. Est-ce que c'est clair?
Ouais.
You understand?
And when I can add something, so this year is also the 40th anniversary of the company. So we had a big event also about this, of 40 years working together. And in every performance, or in every new performance, Patrick supports Nicole, and Nicole supports Patrick. So it's always, there's also a dialogue and form of an outside eye, because when Nicole, she has always like a partner where she can go in a in exchange, and Patrick with Nicole, and also for sure the whole crew.
It's a very impressive way of working with somebody. I'm just curious, how do you feel this collaboration has helped you evolve as an artist?
Qu'est-ce que ça fait pour toi pour travailler dans une binôme comme ça, et qu'est-ce que ça a peut-être créé pour toi comme artiste dans ta carrière, dans ta manière de travailler pour toi comme Nicole comme artiste?
After so long time, we need the other to create. You understand? Yeah. So I work with other companies like Exterior or something like that. I can help other projects by myself, but without Patrick. But in the company, we need each other after so long time, really.
Do you feel like there is something different when dancing or choreographing based on Shakespeare rather than maybe a fully contemporary project?
Yeah, Shakespeare, or we work a lot, not on theatrical text, but on text. We have many literary reference. But here, by the way, the stronger, the way to enter in Shakespeare was the painting of John Everett Millais, of the Pre-Raphaelite. We were in the consequence of Shakespeare, because I think everybody, every artist in Europe and the world is influenced by Shakespeare. Shakespeare, il coule dans nos veines.
It's like the blood in our veins. Yeah, like we have all a bit of Shakespeare in us.
Yeah. So we are not trying to show something from Shakespeare, but we are involved by Shakespeare, and we just one point of view on one character that we do. We cannot say the piece is not about Shakespeare. The piece is with Shakespeare, is from Shakespeare.
So another focal point to your show, from what I'm gathering, is drowning. What does drowning mean to you?
I read a lot about that, and you know, in the 19th century and before, I learned that it's the way that the woman used to die, not the man. It's special because when you are in this troubled waters, it's troubled waters, and we read a lot about the relation between feminism, water, also the ecological aspect appears with a body and in the water, what is life, death, the relation with the fluid, with our relation today with water, so precious, so invincible, enfin imprévisible, l'eau imprévisible, l'eau qui manque, l'eau qui est dans trop.
What happens when we have too much water, when we don't have water, when water is not there? So, and when it's too much, and the different states of water, maybe we can say it like this.
What I'm really looking forward when I'm seeing your show later today is the swimming aspect, the water aspect. So this question is going to come a bit as a technicality, but was it difficult to work with water on stage?
So on stage, you'll see tonight, there's not a lot of water. Water is more visual aspect, suggestion, but all the parts where they are swimming or drowning in water appears on the screen. And so you have always relation with what we did by video and what's going on stage. And we work all to construct the construction of the piece. We were always asking to the screen, asking to the stage what kind of relation we can adapt. It's not for a dancer and a screen. It's an intimate relation we are looking for, rhythmically, in the colors, in the meaning of what we present. And perhaps you can imagine that what you see in the screen is the past, perhaps. It's before they were naked. Avant leur naissance.
Before they were born.
Before they were born, it was perhaps another life they had. It's like a dream. You can the imagination of the public can make a lot. I think each person can have his or her own interpretation, and it's okay. We are here. We propose something, and we propose something like a question. Est-ce que ça vous parle?
Does it speak to you? Does it say something to you? What happened when you see it? It's just an invitation that you can react to it, and it's up to you. What does it say to you?
Et d'ailleurs, on est très curieux de voir comment un public qui connaît très bien Shakespeare va réagir à cette pièce.
We are really curious to see how a public who knows a lot about Shakespeare, who admire Shakespeare, will react to the performance and to the piece, because, like Nicole says, there's an influence from Shakespeare. It's a dialogue maybe from the company with Shakespeare, and now we are curious to see what people who are working so much about Shakespeare, how they react to our performance.
Speaking of this dialogue, how did it go? How did you feel the starting point of Shakespeare in relation to what you were trying to say? Was it a contradiction? Was it a friendly dialogue, I'm wondering?
Not friendly. For me, who didn't know Shakespeare well before to read this piece, I was shocked by the cruelty, the complexity of the relation between the character. In Hamlet, everybody died, no? And it's really actual, I think. We can transpose easy in all society.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to circle back a bit to swimming. As to ask you, how was choreographing in water when you filmed it?
It was in complicity with the film director, Sylvain Dufayard. And so we make, on a fait des essais dans des piscines, une petite piscine.
We made like tryouts in a little swimming pool. Oh, sorry. And they did like tryouts in a little swimming pool.
Oh. All right.
And so it's a choreography for the camera too. So we were with a cameraman who's specialist in
filming underwater.
Underwater specialist. Yeah. So he was there dancing around the dancers
and I'm guessing the actresses have a background in swimming as well.
Yeah, we chose them because that also, not only that, but they were able to be in apnea.
In like apnea, like in
a long
diving,
time.
like they have to do diving because they have to stay for a while underwater, and so they knew it.
And it's not a question of swimming, but more to the question to maintain yourself underwater. It's not easy for everybody. For me, it's impossible. For example, I was just looking at them.
How was it working on this while not being yourself a good swimmer? What were the biggest challenges?
This was not for me. The challenge is never you. Your question is my personal question. But perhaps because before I was afraid about water. Ce qui vous effraie vous attire. Ce qui t'effraie t'attire.
This what makes you afraid is also touching you or challenging you. There's like an attachment you want to, but because she was afraid of water, so there was something she wanted to go there. Maybe I can say it like this.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
But I think your fear of water really helps.
I was. No, it's okay.
Really helps with the concept of drowning, maybe. I'm very curious. You mentioned beauty and you mentioned weakness as two very important factors of your performance. How do they come together, or how do they clash, maybe?
Good question. But you are on the point. With your question is the answer. Yeah.
So this was what you were looking for.
It was, when you think about a project, you have tu dois avoir deux points éloignés.
You need two different points who are like they are not similar. You know, you have these like
opposite
from the opposite on the opposite side. You know. Yeah.
You know, to create tension between apparently opposite things, and in this tension on this
line or maybe,
you begin to sing or to dance, to read text, to speak, but it's always on a punching line, not a tension line, and that's why if you pronounce two words who are very opposite, you can see what is in between, because the word is not black and white, because there are many colors in between, and that's what you are looking for.
All right. I see. So I'm wondering, I know it's only the second day of the festival, and I'm assuming you had a lot to set up on stage and rehearse, but how is the festival atmosphere treating you so far? How is it? Is it your first time in Craiova or maybe even Romania?
Yeah, in Craiova, but not in Romania.
All right.
We were 2 times in Sibiu, Festival Sibiu. We were in Arad too. And also we know Romania through Unima, with a puppet congrégation de marionnettistes.
It's a big conference or meeting, like a meeting from marionnettistes who meet there.
An international.
This is very interesting because my colleague right there, who is not interviewing you right now, is the Romanian president of Unima. So that's a lot to talk about.
But I was in Targovice 5-6 years.
All right. So how are you feeling in Craiova this time?
We have to be honest. We arrived yesterday really late, and we just said it's such a pity that we couldn't come earlier, but we had appointments before, so we just had the time to see the theater, and we did a little walk today. So we saw a little bit, but we haven't the time until now to see something from the festival. But everybody's so nice, and we were just saying it's a pity that we haven't much more time.
Yeah. It's always the same.
Well, this is why we have these big windows, so you could see a bit more even as we're sitting here. So in relation to the Shakespeare Festival, the motto for this year's edition is Will Matters. And I'm wondering, sorry, no? I don't know how to fix it, but it's fine. I'm wondering, why does, how does will as willpower come into discussion for your show, if it does at all?
But we discover
I'm sorry about the noise. We weren't expecting
Shakespeare.
it.
Shakespeare Festival. But we discovered the thematic after we decide to come. You invite us, and I think through this figure of Ophelia, you feel willpower in this woman. There is the willing.
The willing.
Il y a une espèce de décision. She decides. She's not the character in the piece. She decides. She's not crazy. Completely not.
Yeah. And also what Nicole says before,
Not
maybe.
mad. Not mad.
She's totally
mad.
fine. And what Nicole says before, when you say will matter, so what Nicole says, like the performance is really actual. It's really on time. It thrives so many topics, like about feminism, about the power of women, and also what happened with women, and the situation, and also what you said about ecological before. So I think there are a lot of will matter, and what will matter in the future, what thrives topics from the performance.
In relation to this, I'm wondering, are you exploring the madness aspect of Ophelia, or maybe women in general, as they were perceived by men?
But it's like you say, madness is like you say sorcery about women, but they are not
Witches. They are not witches.
That's we say that the men and the religion decide, and the Inquisition decide that they were witches, but they were women who take care of the others, no, in general, and it's the same with madness. The madness of Ophelia, I feel it's not madness. She's very. Elle est très conséquente.
She's really consequent in how she reacts.
And if it's a suicide, it's consequent. It's not madness. And who is mad, who is not.
And also, who says who's mad? Who's giving her the stamp of being, who's talking about the madness?
Yeah. And the character of Hamlet posed the same question. No, is he mad or not? It's not so sure. It's so interesting today also not to classify people mad, not mad, who is mad, who is not. It's always open. And perhaps speaking with you, I think it's what's the interest is the question. Perhaps we speak at the beginning of this interview, we speak about question, and we can come back to the question. The question of Shakespeare doesn't answer many things, and it's an example, an artistic example, not to impose. You have tu dois croire ça, ou
you have to believe in this. You have to think this.
There is not a message. There is an opening mind. We look for that.
And the invitation to connect with it, and to afterwards to see what is it saying to you.
So I'm wondering about this question method in your process. What are, if you'd like to share, some of the questions you've clashed with, some of the questions you found throughout the process, maybe not, so the ones you've had from the start, or the ones that you discovered along the way.
Yeah.
I'm curious about your questions.
Yeah, but for each performance, we have new questions. L'enjeu, the purpose is to find a language specific for this piece. Here, the language we can resume that is what is the relation between image and dance. That's our language, our technical language we use. In other pieces, for example, we work with puppets also, and the question is to find the language for us, for this piece, Twin Houses was the name, how the puppet and me can be equal in the same presence, exactly, confusion presence. That was and so the language was how the actor, the manipulator, can disappear a little bit, not to be there, but like that, and the puppet appears. So all the research, it takes a long time. We work around 2 years on one piece. For this piece, it was what kind of equality of presence we can arrive. It was also a question of makeup, for example. It's makes the image make part of our question, because in this performance, the puppet was makeup exactly like me. So her face was from my face. So the confusion was, I hope, possible. And it takes a long time. That's why it's interesting to be two, Patrick as director and me as choreographer, pour avoir aussi du recul.
You can take a little distance. You always have this, like what I said, for the outside eye, because you have someone who's not so, because you're questioning so much when Nicole is in the first position, for example, and Patrick has another point of view, so he can help her also to ask maybe from another direction or point of view. So it's also, again, this dialogue, always you have these 2 points of it.
And it's also a dialogue with musician,
that's really
with scenographer, with the person who make the costumes. So we have to interact with all those disciplines.
Lastly, I would like to ask you, who is your Ophelia, to be more exact? Is it every woman? Who are you talking about?
The question is à quel point les femmes d'aujourd'hui sont encore imprégnées par l'Ophélie d'hier.
The question is how much, or at which point are the women from today are still influenced from this Ophelia from before? How much is still the influence from this image of Ophelia from before for the women today?
Et je pense que notre passé est très lourd.
And she thinks our past is really heavy.
Et en faisant la pièce, au début, je disais, je veux que ces Ophélies soient droites, debout.
And in the beginning of the process for Ophelia, she said, like, I want that our Ophelias are standing straight. And
But it was not possible. There's something like that.
Oh, all right.
So you want to give them a voice as well, like these Ophelias.
Thank you so much for talking to me. Spectacolul se joacă, din nou reamintesc, la Teatrul Colibri astăzi, începând cu ora 18. Ophelias. Acest lucru concluzionează a doua sesiune, Interviurile Teatrul Azi la Festivalul Shakespeare din Craiova. Urmează, începând cu ora 15:30, ultimul interviu al zilei, coordonat de Octavian Salad cu Kelly Hunter. Mulțumesc! Thank you so much!
And this is a book they wrote about the experience. It's in French, but maybe you find a way to translate it.
I'm gonna learn French now.
Amazing.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I have to let you go back to rehearsal.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
See you tonight.
See you tonight.